What's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. Listen, my girl started selling this Pampered chef stuff, and we got in this awesome Pampered chef quick cooker, right? So I figured, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to make some just this here for it. I'm going to make some barbecue root beer ribs, right? So basically what I did is I went got me a full rack of ribs. Now you're gonna need a good kitchen knife, and luckily for my man Cowboy Seabop sent me this big Rough Rider, and I found out that this Rough Rider 1730, I can't remember what it's called, is an excellent kitchen knife. So this is the knife I'm going to use to cut my ribs. But what we need to do is there's the skin on the back side of the ribs, right? It's the membrane. The membrane holds in a lot of fat and stuff. It's this white like sheet, you know, when you're eating ribs and then you're tearing your teeth through. That's the one piece. So what I need to do is I need to get a knife in there and rip that out, and I'll show you. All right, so this is what I learned about cutting the membrane off ribs. It's a pain in the ass. So every bit of ribs I've ever made before and I've ever eaten had that membrane on it. So I'm going to leave it. Who cares? It's got a little extra fat. Maybe it'll make a little bit of extra juice. It's good. And hey, if all else fails, vote from the rooftops, baby. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quarter my ribs here. Let me see if I can bring you all down. Let me see. I don't know. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut quarters. So I'm going to cut this into 4 pieces. First I'm going to make a mark, see where my 4 is going to be, and that's good. So now using my trusty Rough Rider kitchen knife, which is just the most amazing non-kitchen knife I've ever used. I mean, this thing is awesome as a kitchen knife, not so much as a Bowie. One of the guys, Joe Doomsday, I believe it was Joe Doomsday, saw my video, and where I said, even though they say it is full tang on this guy, if you read the description on this knife, it says full tang, right? And I said, I don't think it's full tang. I said, I think it's a stick tang, right? And I said, I think this is false and it's not a real tang. Joe Doomsday took his apart, and sure enough, it's about 1.5 inches of stick tang, and with a couple tack welds holding it on to this fake tang. So while it may not be the best Bowie, it makes one hell of a kitchen knife. Cowboy Seabop, I know what your intentions were on this knife. Your intentions were another badass Bowie. Best kitchen knife ever, right here. This thing's awesome. I mean, how awesome? I just simply quartered through baby back ribs like it was no problem. All right, so next what I need to do is I'm going to dry rub the ribs. So what I'm going to use is a little bit of this stuff right here. I've been using this on burgers, and it kicks ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the dry rub, and then I'll come back to you. Hold on. All right, so we're at the next stage. My ribs are dry rubbed. Now I'm going to give you a little tip for when you add dry rub. Dry rub will tend to just fall off the meat when you move it. If you put on your dry rub, and then you can either use your hand, or what I like to do is just take a piece of saran wrap, put it over there, and I really smush the dry rub into the meat, and it holds really well. It doesn't fall off. All right, so now this awesome thing right here, what I have to do is take off the top just like that. You can see it's just got a big cooker pot in there, right? What I need to do is add 6 ounces of root beer, and I'm using glass bottle root beer because, well, it's better, and pure cane sugar. And so 6 ounces is half a bottle. So what I'm going to do is pour until I am half a bottle in, and that's about right there. So next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my ribs and put them right in there with the root beer. And if you've never had root beer barbecue ribs, ooh-wee, it's worth trying. All right, so right there, I got my rib meat in there, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of the dry rub and the juices from the ribs, and just let it run in there on top. Voila. Now, here's the beauty of this thing. All I'm doing is putting back on the top, and there's a setting. It says beef pork, and that's right here. So I just have to, I don't know how to do this, so hold on while I find out. All right, so I was doing it right and I didn't even know it. Basically, you have this little dial here, and you just turn it to whatever you want. So it'll go through everything there. So it's going through all the different things. So steam, slow cook, there we go, chicken and beef. Now, that's all I did is I just turned the little dial. I got to beef. I press start, and I wait. As soon as it's done, and how long does it take for, let's see, it takes, I should have probably read this. Hold on. Okay, so total, that means with prep time and all that, it takes less than an hour. That's with prep. You have a 10-minute prep time, and then you have, once this is done, you take out the meat, you add a cup of barbecue sauce, right? And I'm probably going to use this stuff right here. A cup of barbecue sauce to the juices from the root beer and the juices from the ribs. So you take out the ribs, you take those juices, you put all that in, you stir it up, and you let that steam. And what's going to happen is then you just scoop it out, and that's what you top your ribs on. And they are off the freaking bone ribs. We did chicken yesterday in this thing, and it was amazing, amazing. So I'm just going to let this thing cook, and it does it all by itself. So what's going to happen is the timer's just going to go off, and it's going to say, hey, you're done. This is idiot-proof cooking. And I'm going to show you guys because I'm totally impressed with this thing. They have this little book, and you cook everything in this thing. I mean, you want to make bread, you can make bread. You want chicken teriyaki and rice, you could do that. Cheddar broccoli risotto with chicken, you could do that. Chicken parmesan pasta, you could do it. I mean, carnitas, barbecue beer ribs is what I'm making. Homemade chili. There's just endless possibilities. Even cheesecake. And this thing, all you do is you put the food in the thing and you turn the dial and it cooks amazing food. So I'm going to show you when it's all done, all right? All right, so it's been about 10 minutes maybe slightly more. You can see the steam. Just dropped the bottle, glad it didn't break. You can see the steam coming out of here, and that's a good thing. I can't relay to you the smell coming off of this thing. It's heavenly. It's heavenly. I can't wait to. I think I'm gonna do a nice prime steak tomorrow, but this right now is just. I can't see it. I can't taste it, but the smell is telling me everything I need to know. Okay, so you can hear some beeping in the background. What I did is this is just about done. So I set my regular oven to the lowest point you could set it, which is 170 degrees. When these are done, I'm going to put them on the rack that I started cutting them on. You know, I cleaned it up, so I'm going to put them on there, and I'm going to put it in the oven. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm going to complete the sauce still right in this. So it's literally, I don't have to put the things in the oven, but you want to keep your ribs warm, and they're going to be sitting out for 5 minutes because it takes about 5 minutes to make a sauce. And to make the sauce, it's pretty simple. The juices are already in here. All I'm doing is adding my barbecue right into here. I'm going to turn it on to this one right here, which is sear. I'm going to press start with the top off, and I'll stir it until it boils, which takes 5 minutes or under. So literally, all I did is I put dry rub on my ribs. I cut them up. I stuck them in here. I pressed a button. I left it. When I take them out of here, I'm going to keep my ribs warm for a couple minutes while I stir together the barbecue sauce and the juices that are already in there. No other ingredients. I'm just taking barbecue sauce, adding it to that, put it on the ribs, and it'll be done. So hold on, this is almost done. All right, so being on for a little while, after it kicked up all that steam and started to heat all the juices, the timer actually came on, and as you can see, I have 9 minutes left. So it's getting there. All right, so it beeped, And now what's happening is there's some steam just coming out. So you could wait a couple minutes and let the steam come out, but I think I'm cooked pretty good. So there's a little button right here, just steam release, and it just lets any extra steam out, so any extra pressure. And so that way when you take off the top, you don't burn your face off. Let's see. Oh, man. You hear that sizzling? All right, so I'm going to leave the top off. I'm going to take the actual meat straight out of there. I got to grab something to take it out with. Good thing I thought ahead. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, that's a nice looking ribs. Oh my goodness. All right, so basically taking all that out of there. I have the stuff on the bottom of the pan already that I'm going to add my barbecue sauce to. And he says about a cup. So I'm going to go a little heavy on the barbecue. Little heavy. And now what I can do is I'll press cancel. And then I'm going to turn it once it finishes canceling. I think I just started it again. Right there to sear. And I'm just going to press start. And what that's going to do is just going to heat this in a different way. So I can stir my barbecue. And that's all I'm going to do is just stir this around a bit and get it going. See how that all comes out. And then I will coat those. Right now I'm just going to throw them in the oven so I can have them ready to go when the sauce is completely heated. And it's not in the oven to cook, it's just in the oven to stay warm. That's why it's so low of a temperature. So that's it. I'll show you when it's done. Holy Moses. Look at these ribs. Look at these ribs. All I did is shove it in a cooker with some very, very simple instructions. And oh, look at this. The bone just tears right off. Holy moly. Let's check this out. Oh, I want my baby back ribs. All right, so Pampered Chef, if you guys have never heard of it, you want to get some of their stuff, look through some of their crap, you want to get a good deal, get a hold of me. I'll get you hooked up with my girl. Get her to her page. You can figure this all out. This thing cooks anything, and it cooks it simply. Simply. And simply delicious. These ribs. Oh, these freaking ribs. These freaking ribs. Look at that. They are cooked perfectly. Cooked perfectly. Look at this. Oh my goodness. All right, so. Oh my God, so good. I'm going to go enjoy my ribs. I will get back to you guys with another knife. I'm Donnie B all day. Until next video.